Welcome to Brew Day. It has been a minute. I haven't brewed anything in a little while. The keg's been empty for forever, and I'm rearing to go. I've been drinking all these Oktoberfest beers and having a good time that I'm just like, I need to get in there. I need to brew something myself. So that's what we're doing today. We're just gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna brew something. We're gonna just have a day. Definitely probably one of the worst pours, but Who doesn't like a foam mustache? That is solid. Belgian style white ale. That's good. So first off, what are we brewing today? And it's gonna be a Weizenbock. Weizenbock's a fun recipe. I have made this before, and you can make it a few different ways, so it allows you to be experimental, kind of play around and make it with your own. If you're following German law, then you have to make sure 50% is wheat malt. So do be aware of that. But, you're a home brewer, do whatever you want if you want to cut down on that or change something up. We're going to be sticking to that here today. I got 55% wheat malt, good 27% Vienna Malt, 13% Munich, and 1.5% chocolate and special B. That's averaging the percentages. Really, it's 8 pounds, 4 pounds, 2 pounds, and 4 ounces each of the special ones. Now, this is for a dark Weizenbock. Weizenbocks can also come in a pale variant. And so with that, you're pretty much going to do like 50% wheat and then do, a good 45 or 40% pale malt, something like that, and then go for maybe a little bit of Munich or Vienna at the tail end there. So you're going to keep that beer rather light, but with all that wheat and two-row and everything like that, you're going to be pretty high up on the ABV still, and this is a hearty beer. The style is pretty much in the range of 7% ABV to 9.5% ABV. Even though mine today is a bit darker, we are estimated to only hit about 7.2, so I think it's going to be nice and drinkable. It's not going to be one of those ones where you can only have like a little goblet of it and then it's, you're feeling it right away. It's something that you can have like a single pint of, feel good, be satisfied. So I think that'll work really well. I honestly forgot to set a timer on this mash, but I know it's been more than an hour. We've recirculated a bunch of times, so with this one I'm going to say I probably have gotten as much out of it as I can possibly get. So let's turn this up to boil and start the drain. Now, one of the things I really like to use is this sous vide stick for my sparge water because this gets it up to the temperature that I'm trying to hit, and then it just leaves it there. I think I've talked about it in an episode before, but God, what an amazing little use, and also great for cooking. Until you've had a sous vide steak, or we even did like carnitas in it. Oh God, amazing. So highly recommend, pick one up, use it for some temperature control. And I'm just gonna pour this in on top. I really probably should have used some rice hulls. Like, it's not flaked wheat, but I never learn. So one thing I kind of overlooked was the hops. I'm just using whatever I have on hand. You can go with more of like a European style hop, or something that you would normally find in a German beer, but for this beer we're looking at under 30 IBUs, so not insanely bitter, and it's really not going to impart a whole bunch of flavor. You probably want to be a bit understanding of what hop profile you're using, but you're looking for something to be like a dual purpose or a bittering hop, something that's really just going to get you to maybe in the 20 range of IBUs, and that's about it. So use what you have on hand. If you can get out anything that you've opened and you're looking to just kind of get rid of, it's a good thing to use at this time. But Idaho 7 is something kind of got, again, it can have a little bit of fruit forward, but nothing like your tropical fruit, nothing like your hazy stuff. A little bit more of an Earl Grey flavor. It's a dual purpose hop that can kind of carry a recipe on its own. So really a great hop in and of itself. And I'm thinking just with how low I am, you know, I'm ready for a new bag of this. So it'll probably be a good thing to pop in here. And now, we wait. Oh, jeez. A little bit better. Get some weight on there. All right, so water's added. My groundwater right now, or my tap water, is about 70 degrees. Not the coldest thing in the world, but it's a good thing to start with. You know, adding ice to the mix right away, you know, might help cool it down a little bit faster. But for the most part, I would start with your standard tap water. And then once we get to like the mid hundreds, then we can start adding the ice and chill it down the rest of the way. Obviously with 70-degree tap water, we're never going to get down below 70 degrees in the wort. It's going to take a long time, a lot of water, but don't add ice right away. It's just going to be kind of a waste of energy. All right, so we're coming down to the cool down time. We're adding water here. I have been measuring my gravity reading. So just off the boil, my gravity reading is pretty high actually, 1.079. I think my target was 1.070, so almost a full point more than expected. However, I will say I haven't seen great consistency with this device. I've calibrated it. I've tried as hard as I can to get it calibrated properly, but I got some more liquid that I'm just kind of waiting to chill off, and I'll throw that in the standard gravity reading with the hydrometer so we can see how it pairs up to the Brix reader or the refractometer here. Now for me, if you haven't seen this before, I use a little aquarium pump that I just put in the bottom of my water bucket here. Probably shouldn't dip my smartwatch in there, but it'll be fine. And then this is already attached to a hose, so we're ready to go there because that attachment just clicks on. So once the aquarium pump's all connected, the other ends of the hoses can connect to the wort chiller, and you just run water through the wort chiller that way. So if you don't have some sort of hose tap, or some people do this outside and they have a better way of doing it, but for doing it in the kitchen, this is a solid option here. And so there's the other end. So pretty much I am pushing water out through my wort chiller, and then the hot water is draining over here, which just goes back into the kitchen sink, and Bob's your uncle. And there you have it. Perfect process for chilling down wort. We do want to get this wort chilled down as fast as possible, but oops, I seem to have sprung a leak. Okay, so the hose I used was not my normal hose and needed to be clamped down, but that's fine. It all worked out. Luckily, I caught it quick, so this is why towels, some specific beer towels, I don't dry my body with these ones, they're important. So I got the water running through the wort chiller, and it works well. Even without ice, it works pretty quick. We're already down to below 150. So pulling 50 degrees off of it just like that is rather insane. You can feel that the hose is actually I got it right over here, but you could actually feel the hose is pretty warm. The water coming out of it's pretty warm, so you get a lot of transfer and energy within just 70-degree water. So now we're just kind of waiting for it to cool down. It's pretty simple. I just got to keep adding water. We'll add a little bit of ice here in a moment, but that brings on beer number 3. New favorite. Ooh. I remember the first time I had Crew, some sort of like crazy triple Belgian style, and it was like 11%. They used to sell it at this dive bar that I would go to in Santa Monica to listen to live music. They wouldn't give me more than like an 8-ounce pour of it, of course, but I always remember that thing was thick as molasses. But ever since then, I've been really a fan of Crew Fermentation Project, and so this is the fresh hop hazy IPA. Let's see. That tastes like pineapple a little bit. Like there's a good amount of pineapple flavor to it, very some tropical. I mean, as far as hazies go, that's what you're going for, and that is right on target. Hop number 1019 in all its unfiltered glory. This intensely tropical hop featured potent flavor reminiscent of coconut, melon, pineapple with creamy, sweet mouthfeel. It is creamy. The creaminess comes through as well. Oh. All right, so the refractor meter gave us like a 79. Hydrometer is showing us 70, let's say 74. 74, so 5-point spread between the two. You know, I mean, there's a possibility that the hydrometer here is off as well. So we do know that it's above 70 though. Our target was 1.070, and we are definitely above that. So through the mash process and everything like that, I think I estimate my brew house efficiency at 68%. So that means we did a little bit better, and we probably got a little bit extra nutrient out of it, extra sugar. So going for, let's say 7.4. Let's go with the hydrometer reader over the refractor meter, and we'll see where we end up at the end. All right, not sure if you can read the data plate, but it does say 68 degrees, so there it is. Didn't take crazy long time, and only really 7 pounds of ice when my makeshift bucket with an aquarium thing. Great way to cool down your wort, get it to that proper temperature. I think 70 degrees is right where we want it, so once the yeast starts activating and everything like that, 70 degrees is going to be, it's probably going to end up at like 75, but for this style of beer, 75 degrees is a perfect temperature, so happy with being at 68. That's a proper temp to be pitching yeast. Now we just got to bottle it, or bucket it, put it in the fermenter. You always want to make sure that your spout, if you have one, is turned to the off direction, because nothing worse than spilled wort all over the floor. So this might be one of the beers that you like to filter. For me, it's a dark beer. It's honestly fine as is. I did let it settle after cooling, so the trub and everything should be well stacked on the bottom here. But you know, this might be something that you want to filter out, especially if you're not going to go to secondary. For me, I figure because there's not a lot of hop that can be lost to oxidation, I'm probably going to just rack it to a secondary carboy, let the sediment fall out that way, and go from there. You know, I'm never too worried about the sediment. I'm never too worried about the clarity of it. I mean, it's dark anyways. Just let the beer be beer. All right, and last but not least, the yeast. This is the Y yeasts, Weihenstephaner or Weihenstephaner. I don't know actually how to pronounce it. I know that's that. Y yeast 3068. This is the German yeast. So I have this one in a yeast starter, not a very big one. I got the 1 liter yeast starter, so this is like a 0.8 liter yeast starter. But those Y yeasts, they're great. They got the smack packs that you can leave and they'll kind of activate and get going. So if you have like time to do that, but with how big this beer is, with how high the gravity is, I definitely recommend using a yeast starter. I mean, I recommend using a yeast starter no matter what. I mean, it's just such a great way to get your yeast up and active, ready to chow down. So now for the final and everybody's favorite part, the massive amounts of cleanup that we're going to have to do, but it's part of it. Successful brew day all in all, so I had a lot of fun. This is going to be probably like a 7.7 ABV, which is bigger than we thought it was going to be. However, I will say that the volume turned out to be probably exactly 5 gallons. And normally I do want to shoot for like 5.5 because you do lose about a half a gallon to like trub and the transfer and everything like that. So it would be better if it was 5.5, but 5 gallons, I'm not going to argue with it too much. 4.5 gallons at the tail end will be fine for me. I'm going to keg it and all will be good. So here it is. Some of the trub and everything has settled. So let's take a look at the top portion there. There we are. So that's kind of clarified now that it's had a chance to settle. Again, it's dark, nice brown ale. Smells good. That's good. That tastes good right now. Obviously very, very sweet. It's nice. It's smooth. It's got that tiny bit of bitterness from the hops. You can taste the chocolate malt in there. It's going to be a very rich beer. Once this kind of carbonates and it lightens up, I think that is going to be exactly what we're looking for. All in all, successful brew day, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to see more, leave a comment with your brew day experiences and anything you'd like to share. Love to hear from you guys. But until next time, cheers.